This is the second half of 5B, so 5.3, so we're still solving polynomial equations. Today we're going to be using the graphing method, so have those graphing calculators handy. So we have example, we're going to finding real roots by graphing. So we know how that works. We know that where it crosses the x-axis, that's where y would be 0. So if we consider y to be 0, then we can find our solutions by the x values of where it crosses the x-axis, where y is 0. We're going to use our calculator here. So we would go to our calculator. We go to y equals. We would type it in. So we're looking at x squared plus 2x minus 8. We can look at it. There it is. So we need accurate points. So to me, it looks like it's crossing here at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, and positive 2. I can go to my table and verify. Yes, I can see when x is negative 4, y is 0. When x is 2, y is 0. So we've got negative 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 2. Let's get some points in between there to make an accurate graph. So it goes to negative 5, negative 8, negative 9, and back up. So negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then it's symmetrical, so it goes back up. But what I'm actually concerned about is where does it cross that x-axis? So it crossed here at negative 4 and positive 2. So my two solutions are negative 4 and positive 2. So we've already done one like that, right? Because that was a quadratic. That was last chapter. So now here we have a cubic. Same concept. We have to get it equal to 0. So we're going to add that 10 over. So we're looking at x cubed minus 4x squared minus 7x plus 10 equals 0. So then we know if that 0 is our y, we can graph it and see where it crosses the x-axis, because that's where y will be 0. I'm going to use my calculator again. So to graph it, I'm going to y equals. So y equals, clear out the old feller. New feller was x to the power of 3 minus 4x squared minus 7x plus 10. You graph it to see it. Whee! Super fast. So it looks to me like it's crossing at negative 2, 1, and 5. I can verify at my table here. And I can see they all popped up right there. So negative 2, y is 0. 1, y is 0. 5, y is 0. So those are going to be my solutions. So I have negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know it's going down on the left, up on the right, to get some points in between there. Let's see, it goes to 12 and 10, so this is, it's just off the chart. So we're going up and then crazy back down. And then in between there, is it on? Negative 12, negative 20, negative 18. So again, it's not going to fit on this graph, so it goes off the graph there. So again, what's important, I'm looking for where it crosses the x-axis. So this one crosses 3 times. It has 3 solutions. X equals negative 2, 1, and 5. One more. It's already equal to 0. Awesome. So I know if y is 0, I can throw in my graphing calculator, see where it crosses the x-axis, because on the x-axis, y is always 0. So I go to y equals, clear out the old one. New one says 2x to the power of 3, boom, plus 5x squared minus 7x. I can see it. Good looking cubic. But I can also see it looks like it crosses at 0. It looks like it crosses at 1. Looks like it crosses in between negative 1, 2, 3, negative 3, and negative 4. So looking at my table, I can see, yes, it does cross at 0 and 1. And then in between negative 3 and negative 4, I can tell that it does cross, because if my y value changes sign, negative to positive or positive to negative, I had to have crossed 0, right? 0 has to be in between negative 20 and 12. So there has to be an answer in between negative 3 and negative 4. So let's see here. We have 0, 1, then somewhere between negative 3 and negative 4. Let's look for some other points. We're at -20, and then -3, we're at 12. That's not very helpful. 1, 2, 3, so we were at, so it crossed right here between -3 and -4. Then it came back 18, 10, and we was, Tom actually, oh, look, you saw my email. There's my calculator. If I look at the graph, we can make a more accurate graph then. I'm not going to take the time to find out that relative minimum. We know how to do that. So it comes back down, and then back up. Because what I'm concerned about in today's lesson, and we know how to find exactly where that point is right there. We can see it's crossing at 0 and 1, but I got to figure out exactly where that's crossing. Remember, that's where the calculator is handy. We can go to our calculator. We can go to second trace to get to calc. Remember, where it crosses the x-axis is called a 0. So we would pick number 2 for 0. Then we scroll to the left of the 0. Doesn't matter where to the left, just anywhere to the left of the 0. Oh, there we are. We scroll to the right of the 0. There we are. I don't like to guess. I don't know about you. So it's actually not that bad. It's at -3.5. So we are crossing. Our solutions are -3.5, 0, and 1. So if you have a solution, a root that is not an integer, so you can't see it on your table, you're going to have to go into the calc feature so you can find out exactly where it is crossing.